Hello everyone, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Diamond Mom here. If you're new here, you're very much welcome. Thank you for joining this family and please do ensure to subscribe. I film about motherhood, relationship and lifestyle. To my returning subscribers, thank you guys for always coming back. You're the best. In today's video, I will be discussing a very important topic that most mothers can relate to. Now, for some people, they might call this superstitious, but I would say never until it happens to you. Before now, I'm one to never take any traditional beliefs so seriously. Like whenever I hear women or older men discussing some certain beliefs that they feel that they attach to some certain happenings, I do not pay much attention to it because I feel like this is like a cake or it's just a coincidence. When I was pregnant for my first child, I went to visit a woman, a family friend, and she was narrating her experience with her second pregnancy. How when she was pregnant for her second child, her first child would always fall sick, and then they had to take him away from her. And even till then, the child did not recover, and they had to take him to one herbalist or so on and so forth before he actually got himself. That they call it agu. I don't know if I got the name right. Please, if you're familiar with this experience, help me and leave it in the comment section. Now, also, I went to make my hair on one other occasion. I was still pregnant then, and I heard this woman complaining to the hairdresser that this woman was heavily pregnant, that her child is sick, and the mom came to take her away so that she can recover. That the hairdresser actually agreed and said that yes, that's the way it is now. Don't you know, when you're pregnant, your first child falls sick. I was like, oh my God, why are these people so superstitious? What kind of belief, what kind of association is that? How can you associate your child falling sick to your being pregnant? My dear, until it happened to me. When I was 2 months pregnant for this current pregnancy, my son fell sick. Of course, I would say it was normal malaria and so on. I took him to the hospital. They ran some tests. They said it was malaria, that's all, malaria 1+ and sepsis. Okay, he got treated. They gave him drugs, injections, and so on. We treated him. We came back home. In fact, not even the next day, it was still running temperature. I continued giving him paracetamol, thinking that okay, maybe it would subside after some days. The next 2 days, the temperature was still very high. 3 days later, 4 days later, it continued. Now, I started to ask around because, of course, I had taken him to the hospital. He has been treated. So, what else? What could be the cause of this again? I started to ask experienced mothers about this, and then some told me that maybe it might be teething, that I should get teething powder. So I got Bonababe for him. Normally whenever he's teething and I get Bonababe, in less than 24 hours, his temperature reduces and the pain also subsides. But this time around, I got the Bonababe for him, gave it to him, the normal dosage. Still, the temperature was still there. That was when it dawned on me that no, this one has already passed. Of course, a child is not meant to have temperature for long because it sucks their blood, it dries their blood. So I was very worried, coupled with my new pregnancy. I did not even think of any of the sickness having to do with my pregnancy until I went to work, and my colleague asked me if I was sleeping with my son, like if we sleep on the same bed. And I said yes, that we sleep on the same bed. He's still young and he won't even agree to sleep alone if I try to make him sleep alone. She said that's the reason now, that's the reason for his sickness, that we're not supposed to be sleeping together. I was like, hey, these people have come again. Please, people should just pack and go. Which one is that? Because my son, we are sleeping together. That's why he's sick. She said yes, that's what happens. That because he's attached to me And then he knows that I'm pregnant. He feels betrayed, the feeling there. That's why he's sick. Like so many things. And I was like, so what should I do? She said I should stop him from sleeping with me on the same bed, and I should also reduce the way I carry him about and all those stuffs. I was like, okay, I don't have any help. I stay alone with my husband. So when my husband goes to work, who would stay with him and all those stuff? She just said I should try and I would see change. And I would see a change. Okay. I got back and told my husband. My husband too did not believe. It was like, I beg, I should leave that one. What are they saying? But I was like, okay, since I've tried all the home medicine and all those stuffs, let me try this one. Nothing will spoil. Okay, you and your son, people should sleep. People should start sleeping together. Why I would sleep alone? Okay, so I started it. And to my greatest surprise, the fever subsided. Like everything cleared off. He returned back to his perfect health. And I was like, hey, are you sure? Like I had to rethink and say, are you sure it's not really because of my pregnancy? And then I asked a learned woman, like someone that is actually, learned, to know if she had told me that yes, that she has three kids already. She told me that yes, that it happened to her, but it didn't happen to her in her second child. It was when she was pregnant for the third child that the second child fell sick. I was like, wow, so this is real. And then I said, thank God though, thank God that I found out on time, because they were not like that this thing kills some of the older child, that there are some people that would not find out on time and separate themselves from the mothers. That's why most times they will advise you to take the older child to your parents or to your auntie or to a relative. So during those times, I would call my son, I would beg him, I would explain to him that he shouldn't be angry. I'm trying to give him a sibling and so on, that he should get well and so on. He was actually admitted at the hospital. This thing I'm narrating, it wasn't a small issue. It was narrated. I slept at the hospital for 2 nights. It took complete malaria dosage of it. He was taking drip for complete 2 days. And still, the fever did not reduce until I stopped sleeping with him on the same bed. That was when the fever reduced. And see, you can't tell me anything that it was not because of my pregnancy that made my son to fall sick. Now, I stopped sleeping with him from my 2nd month of this pregnancy up until my 8th month. I became tired of sleeping alone, so I would go over to sleep with him and his dad. And then I forgot. I wouldn't say I forgot, because it's my first experience. I did not know that this thing happens at the beginning of the pregnancy and towards the end. Because they say they have this feeling that very soon you're going to abandon them, that you have betrayed them very soon, or you would start sharing the love and attention between them and the next baby. I started sleeping with my son again. And recently, this boy fell sick again. I took him to the hospital. He was tested. He had malaria 1+, which every Nigerian has malaria 1+. You cannot go to the hospital and they will not see malaria in your body. It's our normal sickness. So they tested him for malaria. It came out positive 1+. He was given drug and we came back home. I thought it would reduce. Do you know that this boy ran temperature for good 1 week? For good 1 week. I gave him titin powder, I gave him everything. The same thing that happened until I remember that, wow, this might be the cause. And I started separating myself from him again. Guess what? He's fine now. I had to call and to ask some people, and they said yes, that it happens during the beginning and the end of the pregnancy. That now that I'm approaching my delivery date, he knows that very soon the attention and everything will be divided automatically. So he's feeling his body. In fact, I don't even know how these children act. I don't know the kind of spirits they have, but believe me, they have a very strong spirit. So it was until I stopped sleeping with him on the same bed again that his body came down, his health returned back to normal. And guess what? It doesn't only happen to children, no, it also happens to your husbands. Because my husband too fell sick. During the time my son was sick at the 2nd month of my pregnancy, my husband came back from work one day and he became down with this fever that I have never known him to have before. Like, his temperature was about 39 point something degrees, and it was so hot. Why? He didn't have any sign of malaria before. He didn't have any sign of this. So I had already known that, okay, my son's sickness was due to him sleeping with me on the same bed. I told my husband that, you too, it's because I'm pregnant. You people, I don't know if by jealous or you feel I'm going to divide the love into 3 now, no more into 2. That is why you're also sick. My husband did not believe. Was like, it's a lie, this, that. It was forming hard man. He took malaria drug. The fever did not reduce, until he had to start keeping his distance from me again. I was like, okay, so is the magnetic field around me so strong that people have to fall sick just because I'm pregnant? Seriously, it's affected my husband. And he just got to believe, because he asked someone and the person confirmed that yes, it also affects some of the spouses also, not only your first child or your second child, it also affects your husband. See, this is the reality of most women. I don't know if it is only in Africa here that we experience this. I know that it's not every woman that would experience it, but out of 100%, I'm sure 80% of every second pregnancy experience this. Your first child will fall sick, and until you separate yourself, until you stop sleeping with that child, they said your body is hot. Your body is hurting the child. Let me use that word. Your body is hurting the child, so that's why the child falls sick. So you have to stop sleeping with the child. Stop, at least minimize the body contacts that you make with that child, and the child will be well. And see, right now, I believe this. It is not superstitious. Please quote me anywhere. This is real. This was my reality. So I don't know, is there anyone that has experienced this, or someone that has experienced this, that is currently experiencing this? Please share your experience in the comment section. And also, you can tell someone that is experiencing this to try this. If you've tried giving that child every drug, titin powder, malaria medicine, and so on, try separating yourself from that child for a particular period of time and see if it would work. And to first-time mothers like me also that did not know, now you know. When you take in for your second pregnancy, start on time. Don't sleep with your child on the same bed, so that your child will not come down with this will I say this pregnancy fever. Okay, let me call this pregnancy fever, because I'm the one pregnant, but you are the one having the fever on my behalf. Like, I don't know. So guys, I thought to share my experience with you, to also educate someone, and so that others can also learn, because it feels like we don't get to talk about most of these things. Most of these things are experiences that almost every mother can relate to, but we don't get to talk about these things. And that's why most of us do not know about this thing, because if I had heard of it from someone that I really trust, not someone that I perceive to be so traditionalist, if I had heard of it from someone that I really trust and I can learn from, I would have taken precaution before it happened to me, but I didn't. So I learned from my experience, and I want you guys to also learn from my experience. Okay, so I hope you've learned something from this video. If you do, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and also share to other mothers, share to your friends, to your colleagues, to your wives. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you can get my videos as I post them. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.